And I want to rant to the internet right now. This impromptu live stream I'm throwing up really just to complain, but you can't expect anything else given the circumstances. The modern internet and how it's been weaponized against the American people, it's like a lobotomy, you know. There is really no way to earn the kind of income that you need without gaining an audience to like live your life properly. And then we have very corrupt government officials who stalk every person and approve or disapprove their communications for dissemination. So algorithmically, by an individual, on an individual to individual basis, setting flags on individuals. So the state, the empire, obviously the United States has not completely collapsed, but as far as being an empire, in my mind, it's over. Right? This is the collapse. We are living through the collapse of the American empire. Because at this point, nobody trusts the US dollar. Nobody trusts the political structure. Nobody trusts the court system. Nobody trusts the police. Nobody trusts the conglomerate state military fusion, right? We see it for what it is. It's weaponized against everybody for the individual who stands to profit the most. So, at any given juncture, this system is set to basically turn on money, and if that means, like, how many people do you have to kill? What is the most profitable number of people to kill? Is arguably capitalism's primary function as an algorithm, right? It's like, what is the most profitable amount of people to kill, and where are they? That's essentially how the United States operates, right? We've been at war for the vast majority of the United States history. We, quote unquote, okay, no single human has lived over a 250-year time span like this, okay? But, we, quote unquote, have been at war. The United States has been at war for the majority of its history as a nation, right? And all they're doing is they're just going around and killing people and trying to establish empire. If you really want to like understand it deeply, this sort of power structure has more of a root in European banking powers, right? So like the Civil War, I think, can largely be interpreted as a war of old world banking authority against new world individualism. But that's a conversation for another time. So essentially, we are living in the worst dystopia that has ever existed, where you are forced to pretend as if you're happy, or else have whatever you do have taken from you, right? So, to ask for more is essentially the only crime in this country, right? We're getting to the point where we're like the Soviet Union. You're not just happy with your 9 to 5 and your mortgage. Oh, you want real capital? Oh, well, you must be some kind of communist or some sort of liberal, You just need to go to work and get your paycheck and put down your monthly payments until you die. Stop asking so many questions, right? So in general, I'm voicing discontent. Okay, we're being very broad here. We're painting with a broad brush. We're explaining that the United States is fundamentally a terrorist organization which extracts labor from humans through force. And I don't have access to a sufficient amount of capital to turn my head the other way and pretend like it's not happening. Or to imagine myself to be unaffected. So I need more capital. Basically, you need to buy me off. Or my next set of moves whenever I have freedom again, because the state is a terrorist organization which imagines itself to be able to do all sorts of things which violate their own laws, their own constitution, right? Um, this psychological game of being charged with a crime, which is essentially a non-existent crime, okay, and to sit around and be monitored online all day, every day, you know it. You're not. I'm not stupid, okay. Uh, this is a dystopia. You know, in some ways, it is worse than Stalinism. In some ways, it is worse than living as a Jew in Nazi Germany. And I know that's outrageous, right? But it is because the technology is just that much more complex. The psychological trauma which I am enduring, I guarantee you, eclipses that of Nazi Germany. Like, to fear for one's life from death is a normal physical thing which most people have to experience at some point in their life. You're worried about a possible car wreck. You're like on the road, you almost get in a wreck, but you don't. You're scared for that split second. You hit yourself, you hurt yourself, you're scared for a moment. Okay? Everybody experiences mortal fear for their life. So to be a Jew captive in an attic like Anne Frank allegedly was, that's a whole other thing. Some people claim the ballpoint pen thing. I have no clue one way or another, but I do question it given the you know what I mean. I just wonder. I have no clue. I'm not a fucking historian. Anyways, to be afraid of being captured in war, to be afraid for your life, that is a form of psychological pain, I'm sure. Okay, but in the world of Anne Frank, and I read Anne Frank's diary in school. Okay, they're baking. They had a cake. It's like they snuck in sugar and flour, and they had a cake, and it's like a symbolic thing. Like even in the worst area, they can have a cake. They have ideas. They're like having conversations about like repairing clothes and baking cakes, and you see. So their topics of conversations, the subjects which weighed upon their minds, were not so psychologically distressing as the conditions in which I'm being held. Okay? For me, it's like, oh, you want to live like this, you want to live like that, you want to be able to afford this, you want to be able to afford that. You've done this, this, and this to be able to try, for yourself in your life to try to be able to afford to live in this way. But it does not come flush. Now watch people be chopped to bits on the internet, watch murders and killings every day, watch this Orwellian technology come in, be monitored in real time by like all these various actors which have absolutely no accountability. So you see what I'm saying? This is worse than the East German Stasi after World War II, where they were stalking every citizen. They would hire agents to like follow you around outside your house, kind of like a stakeout, things like that, right? Okay, this is even more complex. Like this is more. East German Stasi could never do to their most targeted individual what the United States does to their least targeted individual. Let me repeat that. The East German Stasi, at the height of their power and stalking their citizens, could never do to their most wanted target the things which are done to the United States' least wanted target. So the person that the United States least wants to spy on gets spied on more than East Germany's most targeted individual. We're living underneath something which is worse than Stalinism. But just because there's not this huge, open, obvious kill count associated with it, they can dodge it and pretend as if this is a legitimate system of governance. See, this is, you know, the algorithmic Cage, right? I don't want to watch this shit. 99% of this stuff is fucking garbage. And you can switch around from account to account, but you know they are using all sorts of methods of compiling your information. It can your footprint can travel across account. You know, some people whenever they go to YouTube, they see completely different things. I will never want to see some sort of 3-hour fucking music playlist like this. This shit is fucking stupid. Okay, like whoever works at YouTube needs to be fired. Like Neil Mohan needs to be thrown out with the trash. The dude is absolute garbage. There should be all sorts of topics which you can select and not select. You should be able to edit a huge tag list. You know, just general methods of curating information haven't been incorporated into YouTube's ecosystem. Over the last decade, they haven't improved anything. They've only made things worse. But yes, legitimately, the United States is even worse than East Germany, German Stasi, worse than Stalin, worse than Lenin, worse than Mao. Don't pretend any different. Don't try to fool yourself. You can't. If you think about it for 5 seconds. It's like, all I need is money to be able to live my life. I need to be legitimized as an individual, not kept in isolation and stalked by a terrorist government. And none of that is advancing, and the basic truth is, I have no way of which to advance myself in these ways. Like, you could say, oh, go do this and that to try to advance yourself in life, but you know as well as I do that it's all a facade. If you don't have wealth, the only place that wealth is coming from on this planet in this day and age is from somebody who has wealth. It's how it works. How else do you think you're going to get it? So if you're censored, or if you've experienced something to the point where you think that you're censored, you know what I mean? Censored or not, maybe I could do things. I could break around the censorship, you know, find a route around. And I do intend to. But, you know, here I'm just, you know, going live on a whim. Want to leave a record here. I am here. You know, I've been posting for years. I've been trying to gain traction. The United States government is a terrorist organization. Legitimately, it's a terrorist organization, which is even worse than Stalinism or East Germany. Stasi. There's nothing which could be any worse than what we are living through at this moment. And I genuinely believe that we will see more people killed in this century than we've seen in any other. We will see more bloodshed in this country, in the United States, than ever before. We already have been. And the basic truth is, I saw something about this earlier. I passed by it. I didn't really watch anything about this. But the basic truth is, this guy who stabbed 11 people in Walmart is acting in his best interest. Like, he's acting rationally. And that's the thing which most people don't understand. Most humans, okay, most people out there, most people in government, most philosophers, most academics, okay, smart people do not understand, because they haven't suffered in their lives in the ways, maybe they've suffered some, you know, suffering is universal, but not everybody has truly deeply suffered in a way which is long lasting and permanent. Okay, some people have like a bad day, a bad week, their dog dies, you know, their grandparents pass away, you know what I mean? But they don't ever go through a phase of like a decade where they're just like, well, nobody cares if I live or die. That's been proven extensively. You know, there are millions of people out there who know for a fact that nobody cares about the quality of their life, right? So if you're basically just told, go die, you don't like your quality of life, you're living a life where you hate your life day to day, you don't want to be living the way that you're living, and you require capital and social recognition and cooperation in order to change your circumstances, because that's the nature of society now. All objects have owners. So if the very wealthy people don't like to share and spread wealth, you're dead in the water, right? So what I'm saying here is this guy that stabbed 11 people is rational. That's a rational reaction, okay? And that's what you really, it's like if you're in any form of governance, if you consider yourself an intelligent political commentator or a political scientist or analyst or reporter or anything, no matter who you are, listen to me when I tell you, killing people is a justified and rational response to having a bad quality of life. And it doesn't change whether you like it, whether you disagree, whether or not it's like, oh, that's bad, or that's good, or no, it's not. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people would say. You just don't want to get stabbed. You know what I mean? Like I can understand the arguments, like, universally preferable behaviors, but you understand, at this point, that's out the window. This guy society does not reciprocate. There's no reciprocity to somebody's suffering to alleviate their suffering. Killing people is a rational and anticipatable response. It's like, I think that we should be using AI to monitor social security numbers of people over the age of 18 and monitor their bank accounts. And if their bank account falls beneath a certain threshold, the government AI basically contacts them and does everything they can to just like put money in their accounts, basically. Oh, they have an eBay listing, buy it. Oh, they got this or that, send them a message and pretend to be this and that. Get them money, give them a raise, offer them a job, blah, blah, blah. Send them a check, donate to their stream, whatever it is. Okay? It should be, you would think for a capitalist country that they would understand the importance of ensuring that all citizens have access to capital to participate in the markets. But they're too fucking stupid to figure it out. So there are all sorts of businesses, zombie corporations out there, businesses where they can't, they're not getting enough foot traffic, they're not getting enough business, not enough people are consuming their products. So there are restaurants that want to put more people at the tables, but then they don't want to pay people higher so that more people go out and spend. They want the economic activity without having to actually fucking pay the people the money to go spend, right? In capitalism, it's an insular system. When you hand out your tokens to these wage slaves, all they do is hand them right the fuck back to you. And the product, which is just languishing on the shelves in an inventory, creating a negative number on your balance sheet whenever it doesn't move. Just saying. So you'd think that capitalists would understand how imperative it is to ensure that their people are wealthy enough to participate in markets. They don't care. In general, you're only going to become wealthy in this ecosystem if you're the sort of person that will steal from others and kill. If you're not willing to steal, cheat, and kill, you're not going to make money in capitalism. You have to be willing to steal from other people where you legally can. So in business, people do it all the time. You pretend to be in a business partnership, and then you split, and then you take the intellectual property, and then you make all the money and they make nothing. That's called stealing. But sometimes it's legal. I personally had what would, by today's standards of prices, be approximately like $500,000 to $1 million worth of cryptocurrency stolen from me that was housed on an exchange called Cryptsy and a mining pool, which I believe was NiceHash. I can't remember. It's been so long. In like 2015, 2016, right? And I would assume that the government was stalking me the entire time I was mining this stuff, but they didn't really care so much whenever I was stolen from. Nobody came out of the woodworks and was like, "Hey, watch out." Hey, I don't know. I just think that in general, people do not understand how bad the United States actually is. Like, they have dropped more bombs on innocent people who have done nothing wrong than they have improved the lives of actual Americans. Right? So they've like killed more innocent foreigners than they have improved the quality of life of actual Americans. Like, the United States government is an objectively evil organization. So let's go look at how Americans feel about their lives in America. Right? Let's go look at how this man feels about his life living in the American system, where everybody is as good as useless and might as well be killed because they're just not that profitable. The problem is this man just wasn't profitable enough. So nobody cared if he lived a life where he wanted to die. So he went out and he stabbed a bunch of people. And for that, I say good for him. Hopefully, one day, these dumb fucks will finally get the fucking picture.
Right now, with a breaking news alert.
10 breaking news out of Traverse City. A stabbing spree at a Walmart, leaving 11 people injured.
So apparently, America just got its own episode of The Purge, Knife Edition, right inside a Walmart. Yeah, you heard that right. A man with a folding knife went full Michael Myers in Traverse City, Michigan, stabbing not one, not two, but 11 people in a Walmart before someone finally said, nah, not today, and stopped him the only way you stop a psychopath with a knife. With a gun. But you wouldn't know that if you watch most of the news coverage. They're allergic to saying the word gun unless it's in the
surgery.
This guy is... I don't really like Colin Noor very much. And I don't really understand how people are so stupid in America. Like, the problem is that the population base of America is fundamentally bad. Like, the quality of American humans is fundamentally poor. Like, we have a bad group of humans. Like, fundamentally, the entire crop. Right? If you were to go back 100 years and you were to like come through these people here and like look them over for virtue, you'd find that there is none. By any sort of metric which one might have previously measured, right? We have horrible people. So, being all gung-ho, I understand, it's just a tool, Okay, but who are you living around? A bunch of drunk psychopaths in a country where they leave poor people for dead, where they stalk everybody, where they bombed more innocent foreigners than anybody else ever in existence. So I don't understand how everybody gets to the point where they're all, yay, gun, like guns, they're a fact of life. But to be out here singing the praises of them, like, oh, everybody needs, I want to live in a society where a bunch of sub 80 IQ dumb fucks run around with loaded pistols everywhere. No, the only thing that's going to make a safe society is if everybody, when they turn 15 years old, their dad buys them a lifted truck, an AR-15, and a sidearm because it's quicker than reloading. Everybody just needs, so this agenda of 15-year-old gets a lifted truck, starts drinking, buys an AR, goes to college, pretends to be an engineer, joins some shitty firm where they get handed a check for the rest of their life without actually doing any work. That is like the ideal progression for an American, right? And all you end up with is a bunch of stupid bullshit. I'll show you this video on Seagore I watched. It's like one woman, she got hit by her husband in Las Vegas, I think it was. It's kind of funny, honestly. Is it right here?
You fucking turn off the fucking nigger.
This guy arguing with his wife. So this is like the American ideal. This is like what everybody wants to live, So this guy went to college, pretended to get a degree where he's gonna do something to actually generate profit for somebody or something. You know what I mean? Because everything's fake in business. As a government, we make our money from enslavement of poor people in third world countries, and the giant threshing floor from the bottom of American society to the top. We're doing the same thing over here. Every society has its slave class. It's nice to be wealthy anywhere in the world. You can move to China, you can move to Singapore, you can move to Laos, Cambodia. If you're a rich man who can buy whatever the fuck you want and import things, it'll be nice. It'll be way nicer than being poor somewhere else. I'd much rather be rich anywhere than poor in the United States. So this guy this is your standard American couple. He marries some dumb bitch that looks like Mr. Beast. Looks like Mr. Beast right there. I think he's in drag. And so he's like slapping her. He's like, slap me. Just do it again. See what happens.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Let me turn off the
But this guy is probably an engineer. He's probably been earning six figures since he turned 25. He's got 24. He's been going the whole time. He turned 18. He was already making six. You know what I mean? He's got plenty of money. He's bought himself a wife here. She's a whiny brat. She starts hitting him. He hits back. These are the kind of people that are in America. This is the American, the U.S. birth rates are at their lowest. The fertility rate in the United States, I don't know if this will be at the top of my like list on this channel or another channel, but I saw something which recorded that we have fallen to the lowest birth rate. The fertility rate in the United States is lower than it's ever been. And that's even worse than you think it is, because the white birth rate is even lower than the black and Hispanic birth rates, which are still up, and other various foreigners. So without being an entirely it's neither here nor there. I mean, get white people, black people, brown people, smart people. I care about the quality of the people more than anything, right? The quality of their societies. But at the same time, it does matter. It's emblematic. It shows you that the thing that used to exist, this Protestant work ethic, white working class base that had all this moralism that was supposed to bring us to this brilliant utopia that we've now arrived at. Okay? This is what it looks like now. All right? We're not replacing previous generations of people with people who are similarly friendly and, hardworking and, looking to pay it forward, looking to have another generation. No, this is your standard American couple.
Fucking nigger music. There's only 2 fucking calls that you could take. Get the fuck off the fucking nigger music.
Oh my fucking god!
Yo, you happy?
And if he missed that there, he said, get the fuck off the nigger music. Which, again, I mean, I can't help but, it's like, since we're talking about racial issues a bit in this, yeah, I mean, women tend to like confident men with money. And if you listen to rap music, it's just like, six-pack drug dealer brags about having money and sex. So, like, if you're that person, if you run drugs and you're able to get away with it, like, it destroys the youth. Like, I've seen it too, like, little white girls riding around the neighborhood on golf carts and they're, like, blaring rap music. You see some, like, dweeby, like, 12-year-old kid and he's, like, playing some black guy, like, bragging about selling weed and fucking white bitches, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's really weird as a culture that you basically play music which celebrates killing you. Because it's just so fucking rhythmic, right? Yeah, man, I don't know. It's just, I can't brag about selling weed and get away with it. I can't, like, kill people. White people aren't allowed to, like, do this kind of shit. I don't know. There's certain states where you can get away with it. How is it that in this republic, over the previous decade, if I had just moved somewhere where it was legal to grow weed, I could have grown $1 million out of fucking dirt. It would be better for me to have not gone to college and move somewhere and start growing weed. Growing weed is way better of an investment than going to college in this country. Like, everything about their system where they're supposed to, like, reward high-performing students, people who are academically inclined, people who want to go about life the right way, people that want to start families, because those are the people who actually propagate the system of governance, right? People who actually have families are really, honestly, more important than the ones that don't. Just truth be told, people who want to have families. But we don't have efficiency. We don't have people thinking. We don't make use of human resources. We're not the apex of global society anymore. Okay? If I were living in a place like China, I would be working for the state by now. I would be working for the state, and I would never have been charged with any sort of crime. I would have never have been isolated in this way. The state would have picked me up and taken me when I was willing to work with them, used my skills as was fit, and we'd sail off into the sunset, happy as could be. America, they don't give a fuck. They shoot themselves in the foot with every step they take. Like, I think you'd have to be retarded to support the United States. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to the human species. All right, let's watch this guy hit his wife.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gonna do something? Yeah? That's what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
That's what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep do it again.
Shit.
Do it again, bitch. Do it again. Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again.
Let me turn off the lights.
Marriage annulled. Marriage is over with.
Yeah, imagine, you're like, you marry this random bitch like he did, and then she ends up being kind of like a teenager, I mean, I've seen some behavior from girls in my life which is really just not that impressive, and all of a sudden you think you have somebody that's going to be like mature and logical and mature and act appropriate, but then the next thing you know is you just have this random whore that's in the other room like, I want to drink, I want to go out, she's just like drunk listening to rap music, and she's like, "Oh, my husband is no good. He's not, he wants to like, he doesn't want to go out and part, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Who knows? I don't know what's happening in this guy's relationship. I don't know what this girl's doing. She does seem to be a bit stupid. It's obviously not appropriate to hit his girl like that, but she seems like a fucking stupid bitch.
Don't hit me! Don't hit me! You need to stop it!
How many times have you hit me? How many times have you hit me, bitch?
You didn't! I didn't hit you at all! Leave me alone!
Why are you hitting me?
Leave me alone!
Why are you hitting me?
Leave me alone!
See, like the leave me alone, it's like a toddler in 5 seconds.
Leave me alone! Leave me alone! I don't care!
Yep, we're writing this out. We're writing this out.
So, you know, the man probably thought he was going to get like a real human being, but then all he got was an American whore. Right? She probably was like pretending to be a real human being, but then in the end of it, she's just another American whore. They're hardly even humans. I used to know a girl that would do cocaine. She would drunk drive everywhere she went. She drunk drove. She had sex with probably about like 20 different guys under the age of 18. She smoked cigarettes. And she literally locked herself in a bathroom. She like slit her wrists because I refused to sleep with her once. Like she was just being dramatic. Like, hey, I'll cut my wrist, blah, blah. Like locked herself in the bathroom. So like, Americans are the worst humans who have ever lived. They're disgusting animals.
It's right now with a breaking news alert.
At this time, it
How fucking stupid could the United States possibly be, dude? You're the dumbest humans on Earth. It's not even like immigrants are destroying our culture. The real thing that's destroying all of human culture is technology. Specifically, it's cars. It's cars and roads and heavy industrialization. Okay? That has obliterated all semblance of natural human order and living standards. Okay? And conditions. Okay? Everything is changed because of that. The thing which threatens us, so that's first of all. Second to that is money. So people are poor. If the white people are poor, when we bring in all these immigrants, and all it does is just increase competition, and like nobody, we're not, you know what I mean? I have to be able to afford to live in this hellscape which you have created. That's the same way that this guy feels right here. So we have what is basically white nationalist. White locals are furious. Immigrants are destroying our culture. Get the fuck out. I don't know. I think that even more than immigrants, it's poverty. Okay? And not just like really, really poor poverty. We're talking about middle class. You have to wait 30 years to pay off a mortgage. That's poverty. That's being impoverished. Paycheck to paycheck is poverty. The United States is the worst thing to ever happen to the human species. It's just completely unconscionable that an individual can be ignored like this. You know, the way in which the United States treats their citizens is unfathomable, right? Like for all of the data collection which they have been doing since 9/11 and even before 9/11. Okay, it's like using 9/11 as their greatest justification. They have done nothing good with the data. They've never once stopped violence or improved a human life. They've never once done anything good for anybody. All they do is kill people for profit. A bunch of dumb bullshit, dude. It's like putting that in my feed, I feel like is just a way to try to incriminate me. You know, it's like, oh, wow. Well, why was that in his feed? Like, I've never searched anything relating to that, right? Like, get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ, dude. Genuinely, though, anybody that wants to, if I saw there was a huge explosion over New York, say a nuclear bomb, I'd be happy. I hate this country. I hate these people. All these thumbnails are boring and stupid. I would never want to watch any of this stupid bullshit. This is just fucking garbage, man. Like, Neil Mohan should be shot in the back of the head, dude. This is disgusting. I pray to God for the death of as many Americans in this century as possible. I hope as many people are slaughtered like animals as physically possible. I hate this country. I've had a terrible life living in this place. So if you're playing a video game, you know, this concept of like a death rattle. So here, maybe I'll play a little bit on stream here. Let's go live on Ascension. So when you're dying, the best thing that you can do is whatever you can do. Okay, so in a video game environment, you know, you might die 10 times in a match. Okay, so your character is losing health. Oh, and you know you're about to die. You're like, you've been fighting for like 30 seconds and You maybe got like 3 seconds left. So you can press like 2 or 3 more buttons and do 1 or 2 more things before you die. You don't stop pressing buttons until you can't press buttons anymore, right? And at a certain point in video games, when you're about to die, you go and you try to kill. So it's like before you die in League of Legends, okay, you do everything you can to kill the other character. And the same thing in good life in life, right? It's like this. You try to kill whoever the fuck you can. It's a rational thing to do. And unfortunately, there's nothing they can do to stop that. Just because it's their preference that people don't kill people doesn't mean that it'll stop being the empirically correct thing to do. Okay? From a game theory perspective, if you are losing in life and you're getting on in age and you hate your life, the correct thing to do is to kill as many people as you can or harm as many people as you can. If you're not able to improve your life circumstances, it is objectively rational, okay, to kill other people. Okay, well, my team is trash. Almost as trash as Microsoft. Who should have never been allowed to merge with Activision. It's like, I think that all of the, you know, how the SEC is supposed to approve or disapprove mergers, and then disapprove of any merger that's a conglomerate that would comprise a monopoly. That's why they have to approve mergers, is they don't want there to be monopolies. Well, I don't think that's true at all. I think they're just seeking racketeering fees, right? So they're like, you know, you better pay us off or else we're not going to approve your corporate merger. So somewhere somebody got paid probably like tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars just to allow Microsoft to merge with Activision, you know. I mean, we see that now with the Paramount. Paramount was I suppose, merging and Trump somehow, because he appointed the head of the SEC? No. FCC. They get to approve or disapprove. They're doing all sorts of stuff to curry favor to get the deal approved. Just kind of let that guy die. Or that's a pet or something. Fuck. Yeah, I'm about to die. Oh. Oh. No. They get the pickup. We get the cap. We got the cap. I got the cap. That's ridiculous. Okay. Fucking baddie didn't know they could pick it up. That guy was just staring at the flag. I kind of wasted trinket there. I probably deserved to die without capping, but we did cap. And you see there, I could have just been like, oh no, I'm gonna die. Might as well not try to jump down. Oh no, that guy's about to pick up the flag. I could have just like rolled over and died whenever I got to that point where that guy, the enemy was standing right in front of the flag. He was in front of me. If he just walked forward and clicked the flag, he would have gotten it and I wouldn't have been able to cap it. I could have said to myself, I need to stop and heal, or I might as well just stop because I'm just going to die. But I didn't. I moved forward one step and then I capped the flag. It's the same thing as in life. When your life is not good, you might as well just kill whoever the fuck you can if you're dying. If society has harmed you and given you an objectively bad life and you're dying, you're about to die, or you know that your life is not going to improve, or XYZ, whatever your trigger is objectively rational to lash out at society. And you may not like it that that's the case. I don't like that that's the case, but it is. If you don't like it, the only thing you can really do is try to improve people's living standards so that they don't want to, because it'll never change based off of your preference. I don't really see EFC. This dude needs to walk down the fucking road. Why is he? Why is he fighting? This guy's still got the flag, right? He should run it in. GTFO. Look at that EFC. Range. Nah. No. Did we not cap? We didn't cap. Damn it. This is very desperate, and we're not going to make it. That was our one shot. We didn't get it. I'm just hoping there's somebody else coming into the flag room. That's not me. He'll chase. Yeah, at this point. What else do you do? Nope. So I could have just accepted the fact that I was outnumbered and going to die, but I wasted their time. And if, hypothetically, we did have somebody going in there to pick up the flag, right, I just distracted them the whole time. We didn't, but in that case, you know, when you're about to die, you still keep going. And that's what stabbing a bunch of people whenever you're broke in America, that's what it is. It's the same damn thing. Fighting whenever you're already going to die. For the record, this is a version of WoW where you make your own class. You can pick from any of the classes. That's my build.
And, I start out by pointing out that Elon Musk is probably chuckling right now because this all started, as far as I can tell, in a big way when Elon Musk tweeted that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Create a cult, use disinformation and lies and hate and all this kind of stuff. Like Jim Jones did, like Charles Manson did, like Rajneesh did here in Oregon.
We live on a two-tier planet. You're either a billionaire or you're a slave. Which one are you? Billionaire, or are you allowed to do whatever you want? Or are you one of those people who aren't allowed to do anything they want? It's like telling me to be alone, or like, oh, just stop streaming and don't talk. Just be alone. Hey, smart people like to be alone. They don't like to talk to other people. You should shut the fuck up. It's like gaslighting you. When you're being forcibly held in isolation. Why smart people love isolation.
Today on the Everything 80s podcast, these particular exactly roll off the tongue and wasn't very...
My name is Yakov Smirnov. As you know, I'm originally from Russia. Thank you very much. I want to take you on a journey that will begin right now and end in happily ever laughter. And you're probably wondering, what does happily ever laughter even means? Well, when I was a little kid growing up in the Soviet Union, mom with a big smile on his face, and she goes, nope.
a heckler was removed from a Ron DeSantis event on Thursday after he decided to troll the outgoing governor as he was trying to give a send-off to the WWE wrestler Hollywood Hogan, the Trump-supporting, union-busting racist.
This guy, to me, is like... He's like a... he's like a meme, you know? You see the soy jacks with the face where they're like slack jaw and they're like pointing at things like, oh my god. He's like a final boss of the soy jacks. This guy's whole persona, his whole aura, just says like he's like a super powerful soy jack. You know what I mean?
Busting racist.
Hey, what's up? Hey, stop. I'm get out of here. 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 So you used to have the closed circuit. So you would go.
Gotta love Florida. Gotta love Florida. Now, in case you didn't hear what he said, is that your effing legacy? Supporting Donald Trump, of course. You bowed down to an effing pedo.
A machination of the paranoid delusions of the truly insane. Your favorite Soyjacks may have a dark history you never knew about. The story of Soyjack begins in the fitness subreddit of a Croatian fishmonger forum. Due to an increase in pro-vegan posts, users began to counter with the idea of the soy boy, propagating the idea of the negative effects of soy. This meme performed a synthesis with the new male, a man-child who obsesses over media consumption, and Wojak, a blank slate to express simple emotions. This unholy combination birthed Soyjack, and thus the downward spiral began. The first ever use was in a thread on the International Forum, sharing images of adult males playing the Nintendo Switch, a gaming console that is designed for children. The image was originally named Soyak, which is the Swedish spelling, rather than Soyjack. He's also known as Soyjack, Soy Wojak, Soyjack, and Based Jack. The original poster was of Swedish origin, the World Record Soyjack or Guinness World Record Soyjack. This is based upon the Guinness World Record winner for largest mouth gape. His first known appearance was in a music discussion server expressing how much he loves the band Godspeed You Black Emperor. There is also a front-facing variation of this Jack as well. He is most well known for his various evolutions. For example, the time he became a Swede or an Irishman. One of the most aggressive and angry Jacks is the Eat the Bugs Soy Jack. His origin is unknown, thus he is considered more dangerous. Pod, wear 4 masks.
And then called DeSantis and Trump Nazis and said, F you all, as he was hauled out by security. Awesome. I love it. Now, wait a minute. What's the, oh, you bow down to a veto. He's talking about the Epstein stuff, of which Trump has been, well, look, he's implicated as at least part of the Epstein files. We don't know if he actually did any criminal stuff. Again, I don't have any proof of that. I can assume. So we can definitely assume that, yeah, maybe he's definitely part of something, considering.
See, it's just like, it's the same reason why you're not allowed to overfish. You know, they ran through the pussy stock. I mean, come on, guys. You know how long that stuff takes to replenish? We can't just... If you go out there and take home as much red drum as you want, okay, we can't replenish the fish population. Okay, the limit is there for a reason. It's having a reverberating effect. It's like one man single-handedly lowered the U.S. birth rate to its historic lows through the butterfly effect of ruining the pussy stock.
You know, the stuff that Trump had allegedly done in his past, going into the Miss Universe changing rooms, which, yes, did contain, in some cases, underage girls that were in the middle of changing, and you just barge right in like it wasn't a problem. I mean, all sorts of stuff. His ties with Jeffrey Epstein, like sending him that birthday card, the throwing that party that was with the only guest there was Epstein and potentially some young girls, young teen girls. Okay, so again, there are questions here. America has questions for Trump, and Ron DeSantis doesn't want to answer any of them, and neither does Trump, obviously. Okay, but look, you know what's funny about Ron DeSantis? Okay, Ron DeSantis, when he lost
It's fucking creepy and weird,
in the
bro.
election, he was completely immaculate.
So you know how weird and creepy that is? It's like, ew. It's like if I met that, like, the girl's is like attractive enough and all, you know what I mean? But then it's like, oh, you're like some sort of like whore that opens cards on camera on YouTube. If I met a bitch and I'm like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh, it's like that. Okay. What a weirdo. What kind of a stupid person wants to watch some bullshit like that? It's like she's gonna have no, like, I kind of want to watch now out of just like curiosity. She's gonna be like, she's gonna have no reference for any of the cards. Just buy stuff and be a whore on camera. Like, look at how fucking stupid this is. What a dumb cunt. It's just fucking weird, bro. You know how weird that is? I'm gonna fuck around on a game real quick. Just stream my whole PC. Don't really care so much about privacy. I care more about the capacity to be able to self-publish. You can't have your privacy no matter what you do, especially in the United States with an internet-connected computer. But the right to self-publish... Wow, this is a really bad hand. I don't think I can even play this hand. Yeah, that's just scrubs out right there. Most people have no idea how the fuck Yu-Gi-Oh! Is played at all. I don't think most people understand how complicated the game has gotten. Why would you ever care if you're a normal human being that is not cursed with having grown up playing this garbage? Could go ahead and go into combo or wait. The right thing to do is to make the monster negate first, in case they try to hand trap you. This deck can infinitely loop and kill your opponent on the first turn. And in real life, you can just say, I'm going to do an infinite loop. And you just act like you have infinite resources. But when you're playing in this client, you can't do that. So it takes for fucking ever to click through all this stuff. Let's do it anyways, because I want to. Special and link that off. I'm just Shogun. Grab gateway. Special out. Grab Xon. 2 and 4. Choose. Might as well make sculpture off that, or just get for an Enchi. Get these off the field. Okay, here's where the infinite loop comes in. Or not even quite yet. Gotta get these all off my freaking feet. It's dark. Dark also. Okay, whatever. Okay, from here, I'm gonna activate. Grab blue. Red. Okay, so this is how the infinite loop works, and then I'm going to stop. This is actually in person faster with physical cards than it is over here. So you activate this, you tribute this, you destroy this. This lets you add this back to your hand. And then you special. This gives you 2 counters, this gives you 1. And it costs 4 to grab one, so that means that you gain 5 every time you do this loop, and you spend 4. So in real life, at this point, I would just tell my opponent, I am going to loop until I have infinity counters. And that is a legal move. But here, you would have to actually click through it infinity times, and I'm not about to fucking do that. So I'm pretty much done here. And toward the end of it, what you can do is you summon this guy, which can inflict 800 damage once per turn, but then you basically keep linking it off and remaking it, so you can actually summon this guy 10 different times on the first turn and win. It's a really dumb game, in all honesty. There are cards you can activate from your hand on your opponent's turn, but yeah. This deck is capable of winning on the first turn. And this is what I am playing in physical Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I have been playing off and on since I was like 5 years old whenever it first released. So it's kind of a stupid hobby because most of the people that play it, like myself, are poor and cannot afford to spend hundreds of dollars on trading cards, yet they do anyways. Alright, I'm out of here. Out of that. Test through my Light Sworn once. It's actually not a good hand at all. Yeah. Still haven't really gotten anything worth a damn. I can't link this off. Yeah, I'm not playing any links in this build, alright. Yeah. this here. Could have drawn a card instead of doing that, but whatever. Okay, might as well just deal again, because... I have a level 7 in here. It's honestly not that good of a board because, by modern standards, I have a spell negate, a monster negate, and that's about it. I can mill the next 3 cards in my deck. Is really not a good result for milling your entire deck on the first turn. So the problem with Lightsworn is it's very, very vulnerable to Droll and Lockbird and other forms of disruption. It's a fun deck, but it's not a very competitive one. It can be kind of competitive, but you'll probably never actually win a tournament. The cool thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it's hyper versatile, and you can do stuff like that where you play every card on the first fucking turn. It's very confusing. It is the most difficult to understand card game of all of the card games. Nah, we just want to hang out, but there's nobody to hang out with. Hang out with the Gestapo. Well, horrible country, dude. It's seriously the worst place on earth. Sure, they got wealth, but it doesn't mean that their people are good. It doesn't mean their systems are good.
We just had Slick Rick release an album, and he just turned 60.
At all, because they see Snoop on shit. You know,
Yeah, it
Snoop's
was
on shit
ruined.
I work on.
Kurt's going on about this, how drill rappers will rap about killing somebody and then get killed. So he's basically asserting a conspiracy that there are dark forces in rap and drug dealing, and that they have CIA connections, and that they keep on having young black rappers rap about killing their opposition, and then they use that to kill them. And then some people, they rap about killing people all the time, but they never seem to get charged with killing people.
Drill shit was brewing for a long time.
2012, right? 2011, 2012?
Yeah.
Okay,
GP.
so they should have never locked everybody down, because there ain't nothing to do but look into shit when you're locked down.
Oh yeah, they got crazy drill music documentaries. Those shits be like fucking Netflix. Fucking.
Now you could see, who the fuck would still do that fucking Adam 22
No
thing?
Jumper.
Who is, like, that is, you tell me that's not some kind of a cult spell that you got people like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, I bet it'll work out.
And they get Rico to fucking kill.
Nobody's putting it together. Dude, I'm not that smart. It's just the shit's so obvious now. You know, 20 years ago, I was in New York when 9/11 happened, and we went to Iraq, and people were like, hey, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And they were right.
Yeah.
And I said, shut the fuck up. You know we gotta go blow up some fucking... Okay, so I fell for every single fucking thing. I don't get how so just enough time has passed where you should notice the bullshit by now.
Because on some real shit, I was watching some shit, and they was saying how much the crime was going down compared to what it was previously.
Keep in mind, no one is going to give you an accurate report of what the crime is. So recently, the big trick, was to go, crime's down, but that's because if the police ain't coming, ain't nobody going to report the crimes.
Yeah.
So you don't have any idea.
That's
like trying to get numbers. Nobody knows what the numbers are. They're a lot. Nobody knows.
And also, my other theory is too, like the whole switch thing.
What do you mean?
The switches. They're putting these where they're putting enhancements on guns that make them shoot like fucking AR. Make a Glock shoot like an AR-15.
Remember all the black people conspiracies from back in the 90s that they brought crack to the hood?
Yeah, and they brought
the guns.
yeah.
And the private prison industry came in. All of a sudden, it switched from like rappity rap to gangster overnight. So now, because I've been in all, they're not rabbit holes, by the way. Rabbit holes are a little thing like this.
Yeah, these are fucking.
These are. Are you stupid? They're not a rabbit hole, stupid. So first the CIA got country music first, way before rap.
Yeah, because they was on that gangster shit too.
Everybody that doesn't like country, what do they always say? Oh, I like some old country. Yeah, before it was CIA country.
Because they was talking that gangster shit.
Segura always make fun of Garth Brooks, which is hysterical. Garth Brooks, that is psyop country music, if I ever seen it.
Okay.
All the Christianity of America that is like the popular, I watch everything, okay? You know what I mean? Like, because the way they get you is to compartmentalize you into your algorithm. Yo, if you look at my feed on shit.
Oh yeah, no, I totally fuck with the algorithm shit. Like,
yo, you can find stuff.
I got like 10 different accounts where I'm a whole different person just to see what the algorithm, where it gonna take me.
It's gonna start transitioning where you can't find the shit, but where it's at now is nothing, dude. Everything has been disclosed. Just so you know, we had this UFOs and all the secret shit. You can just go find it. They just know you're not gonna look. That's how it works currently. Once enough people start seeing it, then they're going to start scrubbing it. But we're the same as China. Don't ever think China's different. Although China probably does theirs better than us. They're spying in social credit. Every time you watch a thing, you know what China does? They do facial recognition so they can track you. Oh, does China do that? No shit. Oh, that's bad. I can't believe China does that. Spies on you all day?
I ain't gonna lie, it's this fucking, it's a YouTube channel that shows you live streams of North Korean TV.
Yeah, keep watching the bad.
And sometimes I'll be watching that shit.
Yeah.
It is wild, man.
Okay, so what I don't get is, because I love that, right? But how come when after people watch that, they don't come back and look at your own TV and see what the similarities are?
No, it ain't no simple. They whole TV, they just telling you how much of a G Kim Jong-un is. They're like, oh, he's the best person.
What do we got
in the
on
world.
our
It's almost like he's
Yo.
like Santa Claus, the bunny rabbit, all that shit. They love
Yeah.
it. Like, it ain't nothing but.
He sounds like Trump a little
yeah,
bit.
he on that bitch like, show me love, show me love.
Yo, how come? I just kind of like realized that it's really upsetting to think about. But you know, cable news, right? So CNN, MSNBC,
Mhm.
Fox. So Fox News, you know, oh, that's for boomers. No, it's just for Trump. Fox News currently, the entire channel is just for Trump to watch. Some of these parents might watch it too, but it's for Trump because they want to propagandize Trump. When Biden was in, Morning Joe, MSNBC, the whole channel was for Biden. So you know, people go, oh, it's biased. No, you don't get it. You don't matter, motherfucker. Your vote don't matter. You don't matter. The news, the guy that's in power that they have to fucking program, it's all for him. So go back and watch news shit during who's in office.
Mm-hmm.
It's because some rich guy owns it and they're like, I want to program this motherfucker with what I want.
Okay.
So Fox News, and you'll see them subtly shift based on who's president. And people, because, you know, I think like a poor person, so it takes me a while to catch on. Nah, you can watch it too, but it ain't for you.
Yeah.
It's for one guy. Okay, the scam now, they ain't never gonna disclose shit. They ain't gonna release Epstein shit. They're not gonna do none of that. Although, I found this out yesterday, MK Monarch, the one nobody talks about, they fucking disclosed that in 2024, and I didn't even know they released those fucking documents. This guest we had on Jimmy Dore just told us yesterday, and I've been blathering about that for, much like Diddy, for 3 years. People look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, oh, I hope they disclose it. They did. You could get those. I have it. I'll text it to you.
All right.
They fucking did, but I didn't hear about it. 'Cause nobody heard about it. We heard about UFOs might come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the trick?
And they just moved
Sleight
on.
of hand, David Blaine shit. It's very, once you see it, you can never unsee it.
President Donald Trump's new plan to solve the homelessness crisis has been revealed. And it's terrible. The president signed an executive order on Thursday, which allows city and state officials to forcibly hospitalize, institutionalize the unhoused. I mean, that is incredibly messed up. Now, the order advises local and state officials to forcibly commit individuals to long-term treatment facilities if they, quote, pose risks to themselves or the public or are living on the streets and cannot care for themselves. Trump wrote that this will restore public order. He said endemic vagrancy, disorderly behavior, sudden confrontations, and violent attacks have made our cities unsafe. Now, here's the thing. The main root cause of homelessness is not mental illness or addiction. It is the lack of affordable housing. That's really it. It's economic hardship. It's gentrification. It's rising rents and low wages. That's the issue. That's what is causing this. This is nothing more. His order is nothing more than trying to sweep the problem under the rug. And guess who's going to pay for it? People with health insurance. Yeah. One of those things, okay, that doesn't get talked about enough is who actually pays for the cost of institutionalizing people. I mean, sending them to hospitals, institutions, that is going to come out of people who pay for insurance. So, look, if you're homeless, you're likely not able to afford insurance. And if you are
Gang, we just want to say.
This is why I should have been secretly unsubscribed at trapping Americans in the country and not letting them leave. Works for the U.S. government's Patent and Trademark Office. Now, the Wells Fargo employee, Tianyue Mao, has not been arrested, according to Chinese authorities. She's just not allowed to leave. Leave it to the CCP to be so evil, they actually make me feel bad for a Wells Fargo employee. As for the U.S. government employee, he flew to China to visit family, super sweet. But Chinese authorities then accused him of a heinous crime, not mentioning on his visa application that he worked for the U.S. government. Was it a minor clerical error, or is he an American spy who works for the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office? Obviously, the CCP thinks it's the second one. That might seem insane, but if you're the CCP, well, that's what you do. Send your average citizens to spy on America. That's why Chinese college students keep getting arrested for filming U.S. military bases. So of course, if you're making your citizens spy on everyone else must be making their citizens spy on you. This is what happens when a government runs on paranoia, espionage, and absolutely zero self-awareness. Now you might be wondering, how can the CCP even think they can get away with not letting U.S. citizens leave? Well, both of these U.S. citizens are ethnically Chinese, and the CCP treats Chinese people like pandas, keep them under 24-hour surveillance. Also, no matter where Chinese people live, no matter where they were born, to the CCP, Chinese people, just like pandas, always belong to China. And if you think putting exit bans on these two Americans is some rare fluke, nope. China's been doing this kind of thing for years. In 2018, China put exit bans on 2 Chinese-American siblings. They didn't commit a crime, but the CCP wanted to pressure their father, who they considered a fugitive, to return to China to face criminal charges. Didn't matter that those kids had cut ties with their dads many years earlier. They were held in China for 3 years. They were only allowed to leave when the U.S. made a deal to send Huawei executive and actual criminal Meng Wanzhou back to China. That's why it's called hostage diplomacy. As of last year, one rights group estimated that there were more than 30 Americans under exit bans in China. And it's not just Americans. Just this month, a Chinese court sentenced a Japanese man to more than 3 years in prison on espionage charges, which may or may not be completely made up. He's actually been detained since March of 2023. Yeah, more than 2 years in prison without even being charged. The Japanese ambassador to China called the sentencing extremely regrettable and added that these detentions are a huge obstacle to people-to-people exchanges and public sentiment between the two countries. Which makes sense. When trying to form new relationships, the number one thing people on dating apps look for is someone who won't kidnap and imprison them. Number 2 is a sense of humor. Since 2014, 17 Japanese citizens with business or other connections to China have been detained. 5 of them are still being detained in China. Now you might be wondering, given how the CCP can just kidnap anyone, anytime, why would anybody still go to China? The CCP might respond, shut up and look at the glittering skyscrapers, and the Great Wall, and pandas. Yes, cute cuddly pandas. The CCP has a massive propaganda campaign to hoodwink foreigners. For example, inviting YouTubers like iShowSpeed to run around screaming China #1 while conveniently avoiding any sensitive topics whatsoever. And it works. Investors clap, tourists go, executives board flights with blind optimism and zero exit strategy. So the next time you see one of those beautiful tourism videos about visiting China, remember, they're not showing you the full experience, because the part where you disappear for national security reasons doesn't fit the vibe of magical journey to the Orient. Before you go, leave a honeypot emoji in the comments to piss off Xi Jinping. And click on this other episode of China Uncensored that the algorithm is absolutely sure you'll like. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.
晴らしい。ここはまだ盗賊に荒らされてはおらん。教授、あれはこの箱はもしや死人の書に伝えられるあの闇の剣。教授しっかりしてください。あれこそが闇のパズル。
激烈バトル闇のゲーム。
いつも持ち歩いてる宝物このじいさん。
にめくって出た数だけ上に登る。もう一人はその分下がってしまう。早く上へ上がった方が。
なんだと貴様最初から仕組んでいたな。
ダイヤのエース、俺の勝ちだ。自分の欲望の闇の中に飲み込まれていくんだ。
何？大丈夫、北は体死にはしない。
俺もよ。ポンポン遊戯王悪魔ゲーマー地獄の罠。さあゲームの時間だ。
Is it going to complain about copyright? How dare you show a video which is freely available on YouTube in your live stream?
You don't have to travel far on the road to Damascus to reach history's crossroads. Just inside the Syrian border, a group of HTS fighters tearing down an iron billboard of Bashar al-Assad.
So we've just entered the new Syria. We don't know what kind of country we're going into. We do know what kind of country this once was. Over half a century of bloody Assad rule, 13 years of conflict, 500,000 people plus killed, half the population displaced, a refugee crisis that changed the face of European politics. The last time I was here in Idlib was 2020. If you'd have told me then that I would be driving into Damascus today, I simply would not have believed you. The thing about the Assad regime, it became monumental in the psyche of the people who lived here. They could not imagine a world without him. Now, that is exactly what they're imagining.
I can't speak. My feelings, I can't speak, man.
They're trying to get to some of the cells which have sealed doors. In order to do that, they're trying to break through some of the walls.
And then a ledger found on the ground. People come running from everywhere looking for names. The administration of Haqq.
So this is a register of prisoners, is it?
This is a register of prisoners. This is the name of the guys. Okay, and there is another one for ladies and her children.
Oh,
This one has been all dead.
Everybody here is dead.
Yeah, they were executed.
Sorry, is this a book of executions?
Yes.
Today, the extent of the brutality of the Assad regime was revealed by the liberation of a notorious prison in the capital, Damascus. Crowds of relatives and friends of the thousands who disappeared there over the last few years have been queuing to find the fate of their loved ones and clinging on to the hope of a reunion.
The belief among those whose loved ones disappeared, clue of a loved one's fate. Scenes like this across the country, with torture that he says were like 100 deaths. Even survivors, like him, have died many times. May have been. That's a vacuum the fall of.
To attack Damascus yesterday.
And so, what do you think is going on there? What are they attacking?
Israel.
U.S. accuses Syria of burning prisoners' bodies. The United States on Monday said it has evidence the Syrian regime has built a crematorium at a military prison to cover up evidence of mass killings of civilians. According to the U.S. State Department, satellite photographs show the construction of a crematorium at the Sadnaya military prison near Damascus. The State Department says the images show melted snow on top of an L-shaped building that it labeled a probable crematorium. Officials say a discharge stack, probable firewall, and probable air intake on the roof of the building are suggestive of a place to burn bodies. According to a recent Amnesty International report, as many as 13,000 prisoners were hanged at Sadnaya prison between 2011 and 2015. However, human rights groups said the evidence was inconclusive, and some of the satellite images have been known about for years. Amnesty said a lot of research is still needed to be done into the claims. The chairman of a UN tribunal gathering evidence of war crimes in Syria said he did not have any information regarding a crematorium. The U.S. accuses Russia and Iran of allowing Bashar al-Assad's regime to commit atrocities in Syria with seemingly unconditional support. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support Tomo News at patreon.com/Tomo News. The Syrian conflict is now in its seventh.
Un gilet jaune, un gilet jaune.
Macron, démission! Macron, démission!
listen, you're not mine.
Just Oh, I have a toy scarf. Whoops. Expecting a switch. I'm trying to switch it out. That's bad. Fine. I don't know. Just forfeit this. I think the like newer generations, there's too many bad combinations. Like you have more entropy in the system because there are more moves and more Pokemon, so you're less likely to get a viable team. Does that make sense? Random Pokemon. Super effective, but it didn't fucking do anything, goddammit. Ah, damn. Now we're back. I'm too slow to hit. I can either switch out. Either way. It's probably just gonna go down here. So fine. I understand why it's weird. Bro, what? The fuck? There's simply no way. There's never been a video game track which goes harder than this. Let's watch the actual mission. I was playing this whenever it released, which would be 97. I would be 3 years old. So it was like three and a half. I was like 3.5, 4 years old whenever I played this for the first time. And it's left a lasting impression.
ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Welcome everybody from around the world. My name is Bilal Abdul Kareem and this is the BAK Show, where we discuss the things which are important to you and to the Muslim Ummah at large. Of course, I'm your host, Bilal Abdul Kareem, and I'm coming at you live from northern Syria. Everybody, we need to discuss some controlled areas. He was unharmed, but he was sent miraculously were being occupied again by Hajjari's forces just several hours later. It happened in several different secure Bedouin forces in Al-Bab, Syria. CENTCOM forces conducted a raid resulting in the death of senior ISIS leader Dihya Zawba Muslih al-Hardani and his 2 adult ISIS-affiliated sons. These ISIS individuals posed a threat to U.S. and coalition ruling of bringing in what we're talking about in a people. Is it necessary? He is a mujahid, another Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi, the leadership, because they're starting to do that. Mango is sweet.
Wow. Is that true? Neil Mohan was found shot in the head? It's crazy. Oh wow, that must not be true. That's unfortunate. I mean, I was saying I thought he got shot. That would be really unfortunate, you know. What a bunch of dumb trash. I genuinely hope that every American gets shot in the fucking head, dude. I hate this country. What a terrible place. The United States is, bar none, the single worst thing. The formation of the United States was the single worst thing to ever happen to the human species. There has never been anything worse. I pray to God that there is a bombing campaign of the United States. I hate this place. These people have been dropping bombs on innocent foreigners for decades. It's like a whole century of killing innocent foreign people. And what a horrible life it is to live as an American, in all actuality. Absolutely fucking stupid, dude. No, I trust my thoughts completely. My thoughts say, I pray to God that there is mass murder all across the United States. I hope that there are millions of dead Americans by the end of this century. I hope that millions of Americans are killed point blank. You are the worst people on earth to have ever lived. What a bunch of dumb trash.
Not even her Black Rose Dragon can save her now.
Night! Cold summon. Come forth!
There is nothing you can do that will.
Dragon! Come forth! Black Rose Dragon!
Win!
It's about the long big Black Rose Dragon play!
I was waiting and automatically destroys it! Signer.
Ask that you never curses a.
Just look for a guard on that. It's like, explain to me how Google, a former Google executive, centrally issued, centrally created, central ledger system for a fake digital currency is worth so much money. It's like, what a fucking joke. XRP, gold, XLM, silver. It's like, you have to be mentally retarded to say something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to actually be stupid as hell. If he believes the words he's saying, like, you have to be one of the dumbest people on this earth. If you're holding XRP, I hope you get shot in the head. It's like, XRP should have been illegal, but we have such a corrupt system that, you know, hey, if you're rich enough, hey, just go ahead, issue your own private currency. Who cares, really? Yeah, no, just stalk every man, woman, and child on the earth with an internet connection. Make your own currency. You know, who cares? Whatever. Just go for it, Google. Whatever. It's like, it's hilarious they're actually, like, not killing the people who are issuing XRP. It's like, I'm a single issue voter. The government should be killing every single person that's trying to push these dumb fuck scams. I don't want to see them arrested. I want to see these people die. You should be kicking in doors and shooting people in the head.
To a witness account, and there is a press update.
Is the suspect someone you guys are familiar with?
No.
When you say random, does that mean there's no motive ascertained yet?
The motive is clear. The United States is the single worst thing to ever happen to the human species. It doesn't take a fucking genius.
Based on the information that we have at this time, it appears there were random acts, that there was no...
No, it was not a random act. You're just fucking stupid. It's like, words, okay. Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I was playing earlier, right? Most technical game, like playing card games, playing these strategy games, especially Yu-Gi-Oh! It is so technical, right? The difference between you can only use this effect of monster name once per turn versus once per turn you can. Right? There's a hard once per turn and a soft once per turn. Just as an example of a mechanic, right? And if it's a soft once per turn, that means if you summon another copy of that card or destroy it and resummon it, you can use the effect again. If it's a hard once per turn, then you can only use it once per turn no matter how many times you summon it. There are all sorts of little minute differences in phrasing in the game like that, which completely change how card effects resolve, right? So you have to be extremely attentive to the details, okay? This was not a random act. This was a deliberate, specific act of stabbing strangers in a Walmart. Okay? So it wasn't these weren't random acts. This was a specific act. Right? This man acted with intentionality to stab what were ostensibly random people, but the action was not random. The action was driven and intentional. And it's because he's poor. Any idiot knows that. So it's not random. A man who is poor, who has a very low quality of life, stabbed some people specifically because he is suffering and society does not care about his suffering. It's not a random act.
There were random acts, that there was no, the victims were not predetermined. And again, that's based on the information we have at this time.
Is there any indication that this was a mental health situation?
I can't comment on that.
There today.
It's stupid too. The way that the public conceptualizes of mental health. It's like, oh, he's mentally ill. That explains. Oh no, or was he not? You know. Do you think that a mentally healthy person stabs a bunch of people? Is that what a mentally healthy person does? Okay, now when you say mentally ill, does that mean he's like hearing voices? You know, most people, they think stupid shit like that. When mental health could he's suffering every day from poverty and being in the worst country on earth. So yeah, of course his mental health is bad, dumb fuck. What a stupid question. Now, here's the thing that you're missing is it's like, he's not insane, he's sane and he's rational. He's not irrational, he's a rational actor. It's like, if you could hate what I'm saying, hate the truth, you know, but the truth is that this man acted rationally. He hated his life, he didn't like being alive. Society was killing him, so he stabbed a bunch of people. Everybody ignoring him until he stabbed a bunch of people. You know, his life isn't getting any worse as a result of having stabbed all these people. Seriously. I mean, like, people just really do not understand what poverty is. At my local Walmart, there's at least like 20 to 30 different homeless people who stand in the parking lots on any given day. There's like a homeless encampment. There's a patch of woods right next to a private Christian high school, which is literally like one street away from my house. You exit our neighborhood and you're at a Walmart. And then there's also a private Christian school and a number of other businesses. In the woods, across from that private Christian school, there's an encampment of homeless people. There's probably like 30 or 40 different homeless people who live sequestered away where nobody can see them. And they walk around the local area and they hang out at the Walmart and they beg for food and money. It could happen here tomorrow, and I wouldn't be astonished in the least. And their solution to Zoomers and millennials and Gen Xers that can't get a good enough career to pay down their preferred lifestyles is to ignore them. And their solution for people who are literally living on the streets is to arrest them and throw them in prison for being poor and homeless. So I would anticipate with the laws which they have just passed, we will be more likely to see a repeat of this. Everything that Donald Trump did with that law, whatever that law was, anything in the way of cracking down on homeless people, you are going to see an uptick in incidences like this, and you deserve it. I hope we do. I pray to God we see thousands of these. So you finally fucking see what you're actually doing to the country.
I guess the only other thing I would ask is there was some social media chatter that an individual with a concealed pistol license was involved in subduing a subject. I'm wondering if you can comment on that or not.
I can't at this time.
Okay.
Do you know the age ranges of the victims?
I do not.
Shit, if this was California, they'd be searching for.
Not to my knowledge. I don't have any information. And fortunately, as I mentioned, no one is immune to this.
Iron Man, the thing from Fantastic, he's made of rock. What a horrible country. What a terrible place. Yeah, the truth is that they want to isolate children so they can predate them on the internet. They don't want children to be able to be given information about the things which they're doing to them, right? They're running all of these control operations. The basic function of governments is to transform children into slaves. Okay? So it's profoundly counterproductive to allow other individuals to contact your slave and inform them of their enslavement. And they're doing it under the auspices of protecting children from predators. But it is the government's desire to be able to have children in isolation on the internet so that they can stalk and predate them and force them into a working situation before their brains can develop enough to question the trappings of their life. Every American should be slaughtered like an animal. This is the worst place on earth, dude. It's like trying to guess. It's like, no, fucking kill yourself. What a joke, dude. All the recommendations on this platform have gotten worse. Like, They're supposed to have AI and be able to make everything better. AI fixes this. AI is going to make everything. Humans will be redundant because of AI. Yet, look at what they've actually done with YouTube. Like, this is the worst dog shit platform that you could possibly fucking imagine. You have like $10 trillion of capital. You're like so huge as a conglomerate that you stalk every man, woman, and child on the earth over at Google, right? And this is the best website that you can come up with. Yeah, this is the best way of assembling the information which is available for me to browse, right? No. This is absolute trash. Neil Mohan should be fired post haste. What a dumb bitch. There's just absolutely nothing. People who buy fake currencies so that they increase in value in the future so that they can sell them for profit. It's just like the most smooth brain shit you could ever fucking imagine, you know? It's like, number go up. Wow. You're going to talk about that for 20 minutes? There's nothing to be said. You're just, all you say is you're a greedy demon that should be shot in the head. Literally every single fucking crypto person should be shot in the goddamn head, dude. Like, these people are the worst that humanity has to offer. I think they have a solution for the problems at hand, and all they have is a way for them to hopefully increase their own bank balance. Yeah. It doesn't actually help anything. Like, what a dumb faggot. Wow, your thrift haul? You think I care about that shit? Like, what a fucking stupid thing to post. How the fuck does that end up in my feed, you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, I hope that people like that get killed. Like, what a stupid asshole. You bought a pair of jeans at the thrift store? Nice video, dumb fuck. Why the hell did you upload that? Just unreal, dude. Well, a bunch of dumb trash. Like, genuinely, I pray to God for the slaughter of as many Americans as possible. What a stupid country. There comes a point when there's nothing to life, right? Because you don't have money, you don't have associations, you're being blackmailed. I had to pay the government $6,000 to be free, right? So like right now the government has kidnapped me and is actively extorting me and stalking me at the same time. Like, genuinely, I pray to God for the slaughter of as many Americans as possible. This is an evil place. These are evil people. This is the worst system of government that has ever existed. I don't care what has happened in other places. I care about what has happened to me. Okay? I would trust the Taliban ahead of the United States government. They'll be real. They'll be direct. The US government is going to lie, cheat, and steal. They're going to do the opposite of every virtue that they espouse. What a horrible place. It's just so unconscionable, you know? To ignore an individual that tries to communicate outwardly for multiple years, this is a form of torture, which is, you know, just simply, it was beyond the technological capacity of the Soviets or Hitler or any of these other, you know, Mao, any person you might point to. It was simply beyond the technological capacity of these people to torture and stalk their citizens in the way which the current government of the United States does. It's just literally impossible for them to be as bad as the United States is. "9/11 was most probably an inside job. Larry Silverstein is probably complicit because he made so much fucking money off of it. What a horrible place. A man just wants to be able to like stream and have a couple conversations while playing video games. 3 years later, he's waiting to get an offer of PTI, maybe slash like you're charging me with a felony, which is obviously bullshit to anybody with half a brain. It's like disgusting. You're evil people. I was kidnapped and extorted. I was held for ransom by the government, and then sat alone in my room without employment and stalked by the government for a year. At this point, I genuinely support mass murder of Americans. How could you expect anything else? I hate you people.
Hi, folks. I am the Shameless Berg. I hope you're doing well today. As for me, I've been a little bit under the weather. Don't get too excited, Jews, commies, black people, whoever else. I'm not going to die from it, okay? I'm going to make it through, so just settle down and don't get too excited, all right? But
Shame on you, Goyim.
hi, folks. I am the Shameless Berg. I hope you're doing well today.
I want to know the full list of what I'm not supposed to fucking say.
Today, I want to talk to you about who is working with our government to shut our mouths. Also, I've got around 150,000 of you folks tuning in to me, which I appreciate, but it would really help if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe so I can continue to grow this channel. Also, check out the shop in the shop description or shop tab. Got white boy summer shirts, white girl summer shirts, a bunch of other designs and cool shit. Just take a look.
And I'm going to say everything on that fucking list every day. Give me the list. Give me the fucking list of what I'm not supposed to say about Israel, about what I'm not supposed to say about Jews, and you make that illegal, I'm going to say it every fucking day.
I'm going to say it every fucking day. All it takes to make me hate you, to make you my enemy, and to have no regard for your life at all is for you to try to silence me. Say anything about me that you want to say, and I will remain aloof. But if you try to shut me up, I want to throw you into a volcano.
And I am anti-Israel, period. I am fucking anti-Israel.
Me too, Scott, along with my loyal audience here, and along with every non-Jew who has an IQ above room temperature.
Because the ADL, I know the ADL doesn't work for Israel, but if Israel doesn't shut their fucking dog down, which is the ADL, their little attack dog, they can shut them down tomorrow. Shut them the fuck down. I can't have the ADL and this law at the same time. I cannot have the ADL in business accusing people of being Holocaust deniers with this particular system.
Gonna have to stop you there, man. Like, there's no arrangement or system that will make me accept regulations about anything I have to say about Jews or about Israel. Let them keep themselves safe behind their militarized borders over in Israel that we help pay for, because all of this breathing down our necks is going to make your future with us a lot less safe. I care far more about my rights than any of your lives.
Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel. Fuck the ADL. This can't stand. If you want to make me fucking hate the people you want me to like, keep doing this. Keep telling me you're going to put me in fucking jail for my opinion. In this case, an opinion I didn't even hold. You motherfuckers.
They could stop right fucking now and it wouldn't matter to me one bit, because of all the damage that they've already done and all of the bullshit that they have already made us endure, that they have already put us through. I wouldn't give a fuck if they stopped right now. These people are my mortal enemies and I'm never going to let up on that. Stopping isn't enough. I want revenge.
And by the way, if somebody votes for this, I need the whole list of anybody in the Senate who votes for this. I want to know if there's any fucking Republican who votes for this. If you're a Republican in the Senate and you vote for this, you're my enemy.
They're your enemies, Scott. They all are.
I will try to do everything I can to get you out of office. I will defame you in every fucking way I can figure out how to do it. I will figure out who your opponents are, and I'll help fund them. I will vote for a Democrat over you. If you're a Republican and you let this get passed, fuck you. You're dead to me. You're dead to me. You are my enemy, mortal enemy.
I would do so many much more worse things to our mortal enemies than this, Scott. But in the end, they'd be dead to me too, one might say.
Fuck you, every one of you. No, this law, if this becomes a law, I'm not going to act the same.
Yeah, I'd suggest you just go ahead and stop acting the same right now. We don't have to wait for the future, okay? Things are already bad enough. So let's just go ahead and stop acting the same now. So let's see what's got our friend Scott Adams here in such a tizzy. ADL-backed bipartisan bill threatens to censor Israel criticism on social media. The bill's lead sponsors described it as part of an effort to prevent anti-Semitic hate, but their comments during a press conference on the measure suggest it will also target critics of Israel. I should be allowed to do both. I don't care if you're billing it as an effort to prevent anti-Semitic hate. I should be able to hold and express hateful opinions of Semitic people if I want to. It doesn't have to just be criticism of Israel as some sort of geopolitical thing. Like, yeah, you get to do that. That's fair commentary because it's on politics. No, what if I don't like Semites? What if I don't like Semitism? What if I don't like Jews? What if I just don't fucking like them, whether they're in Israel or not? So no, I'm not singularly concerned that this
investigation, and they might open the park tomorrow or something. But he said like a double murder happened or something.
Now, Arkansas State Police is asking anybody who was here on Saturday and may have been taking pictures or videos, maybe had a GoPro that was running, or even a dash cam, if they could go through their footage and see if anything out of the ordinary sticks out. If you do happen to see anything, Arkansas State Police Troop L is asking you to send it their way. In Devil's Den, live in Devil's Den, covering news where you live, I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
Thank you, Bo. Arkansas State Police have officially identified the victims who lost their lives in the attack as 43-year-old Clinton David Brink and 41-year-old Kristen Amanda Brink. They're husband and wife and had recently moved to Northwest Arkansas from out of state with their 2 young daughters. The girls, ages 7 and 9, are both safe with family now and were not hurt in the attack.
Here's another look at the information we know about the suspect. State police updated their description of him today. They believe he was wearing a long-sleeve shirt with the sleeves rolled up instead of a tank top as initially reported. He's described as a white man with a medium build, wearing dark pants, a dark ball cap, sunglasses, and finger
All this fucking AI generated music is, oh god. It's like Garth Brooks. They made a tool that makes Garth Brooks country songs automatically. Bullshit like that. It's like, how is this recommendation? It's like, what do you think of Marxism? It's like, fuck off, dude. What a fucking joke. It's like, what a shallow pass. Well, I'm not a capitalist, so, I'm not a capitalist. I'm not rich, so I'm not a capitalist, but I'm not a Marxist. And Marx is right, though. That's why they're asking that. The capitalists are like, so, what's your opinion on Marxism? Well, if the rich don't have a plan for the poor that will afford for them, you're going to have a bad time. I mean, that's what Marxism basically says. Peasants' revolts are guaranteed. The essential arrangement of labor is the arrangement of labor. I don't care if you're Bill Gates or Bezos or Musk or the richest capitalist, the most diehard capitalist. If you don't learn from Marx, Engels, and understand that, like, the problem of the populace is a problem, they're pretty fucking stupid. The problem is, I think we have the kind of billionaires that just do not give a fuck, and they don't know either, Like Mark Zuckerberg or Bezos, they're too busy in, playing with their money to actually, like, stop and be like, they're not going to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, there are tens of millions of people that are applauding mass murder of Americans because they hate this country. No big deal. We're governed by terrorists, bro. Worst place on earth. Imagine attacking Colbert right now. It's just like people who would actually, like, be like, yeah, he's canceled. It's like, Okay, so you're a fucking idiot. You're one of the stupider people. Gotcha. We got a lot of dumb people on this planet. Yeah, Bill Gates is a pedophile, that's for sure. Well, he's dead now, so in general, you always have to be careful.
Far exceeds my family's carbon footprint, and I spend for electricity.
The demand for electricity over the next 5 years is going to be nuts.
Yeah, bud. He's been planning this for years.
Is there something now beyond what we understand about computers that, like 20 years ago, we didn't fully understand computers? Is there now another level of something? Maybe we haven't even thought of it. Maybe it's not.
He would control who gets
offered to buy their old seeds. Of course.
No, that's horrible.
So we'll have a storming the Versailles moment. Zuckerberg buying out entire Hawaiian Islands. He's like, they've probably burn down Maui just to make it their own private venue. I would not be surprised in the least. That's one of those conspiracies where it's like, well, there's a very direct payoff. You know, there were a ton of locals who refused to sell their land to billionaires. You know, because Hawaii is very limited amount of land. Very rich people don't want to live in the vicinity of poor people. So there are allegations that the Maui fires were intentional. It was performed by some group of billionaires that wanted to essentially force everybody off of the land they wanted to develop. And yeah, I would not doubt it for a second. That's Mark Zuckerberg is one of the worst people. I couldn't care less, you know. Oh wow, really? Who the fuck would care what the fuck a woman wants? You know what I mean? Seriously, it's, we need money. We need money. We don't care. Women are by necessity interchangeable. That's just how it works. Until you pool time together, you know, basically have to not care at all. It's like, why would you even care? To a certain extent, like, sure, yeah, like you want one who's gonna, but like, money first. If you can't afford to go buy food or like put fuel in your car or put a roof over your head, live the way you want to, it doesn't even matter. Like, who cares?
Incorporated the First Amendment.
Speaking of which, like Enlightenment Freemasonic values, how do you reconcile Freemasonry with Christianity?
What about Freemasonry is in conflict with Christianity?
How about
everything? Like
Albert Pike's teachings?
Albert Pike is not recognized as influential by most Masons.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
His teachings are not
like this dude right here is like the epitome of the kind of person who knows absolutely nothing but thinks they know everything, right? He's a stupid person who's also a know-it-all. Claiming that Albert Pike isn't an influential Freemason is like claiming that Donald Trump isn't an influential pedophile. Everybody knows that's not true. Like, he is the textbook definition. Albert Pike is like the Freemason. Yeah, everything about this stuff.
essential.
Morals and dogma.
I am a Freemason, yeah.
Morals and dogma.
I'll admit I've had my questions because I have run into things.
You're
in
telling me
Scottish
morals
Rite.
and history of Freemasonry generally.
Who's the Freemason here?
Zini, does he count?
Is he P2?
I hate Tim Pool too. Tim Pool is horrible. Tim Pool is one of the worst people to ever enter into media.
Hey guys, it's me, not Don.
War is bad, so I'm no longer doing. Oh God, malfunctioning. I have ways with me. Sometimes you have to fly.
You talking about? Just fixed
The American, shoot him now. Man, the file. But anyways, the first one.
I love that guy.
Mwahaha, now we have a better suit than Tony's. Haha, I'm going to destroy the world.